Hello, trainers! Professor Palm here. And can you believe that we're almost at the end of summer? If you really like the heat and going to the beach, good for you. But for me, my favorite time of the year is fall. I love watching the leaves change colors. I love watching the trees drop their leaves. But most of all, I really like making a pile of leaves and jumping into it, just like a little kid. I mean, how many of us did that as kids? It was a lot of fun, but to be honest, the annoying part is then we'd have to rake them up afterwards. I'm not the only one who really likes the season of fall or autumn. There are many Pokemon out there that also really like this time of the year. One thing that you should know is that there's some Pokemon that change their appearance based on the seasons. As you know, Sawsbuck and Deerling are some of those Pokemon. But there was actually another Pokemon introduced many generations on that also changed its appearance during the seasons. Who were they, you might ask? Well, let me tell you, it's our lovely little lucky bunnies. None other than Buneary and Lopunny. That's right. Did you know that this beautiful coat that you see on both of them is actually a winter coat, as they are ready for any time of the season? This is the part of the year when Buneary and Lopunny grow that beautiful fur you see on their ears and on their bodies. It's their winter coat, and they really do like the cold weather, as some of them really like to live in the cooler areas. It's a shame that we don't oftentimes see that, especially in most of the games, as we do see them with these coats on. I gotta say, though, I'm glad at least they shed, because I think with all that fur, it's gonna get really hot underneath all that. Rabbit Pokemon are so cool, and they're really fast, I gotta say. Though they are not the fastest alive, they are very nimble and they're very quick. Also, they like to hop to it. Sorry for the pun. I just had to make a little bit of a rabbit pun right now. But these Pokemon are also very lucky. I have to say, oftentimes people say, follow the lucky rabbit. Well, these are the right Pokemon that you should have on your team, as they oftentimes can bring you a lot of luck. But since you evolve them with friendship, they also are a great friend to have. Before we begin, I want to give a very special thanks to my fellow friend, Oreo Rabbit, for the idea of this video. You suggested this, and I'm glad you did. This is one of your favorite Pokemon lines, and I hope that you enjoy it, as this video is dedicated to you. And of course, I want to give a very special thanks to artist Tech Renova for my shirt, The Fire Rabbit Within. Since we're talking about rabbit Pokemon with Buneary and Lopunny, I thought this is one of the most perfect shirts to wear. Even though they're not fire-type Pokemon, I still think it's criminal not to wear a rabbit shirt. If you didn't know, I'm a huge fan of Scorbunny, Raboot, and Cinderace's line. They're my all-time favorite starter. And if this line happens to be your favorite starter, or you really like this line in general, I would definitely recommend that you buy this shirt. After all, why buy a silly stock image t-shirt when you can give a talented artist like Tech Renova herself good business? It still does upset me that Buneary and Lopunny did not appear in the games of Sword and Shield. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm happy we had Bunnelby and Diggersby, but this is always going to be my favorite rabbit line. I just think it would have been fun to have 3 different kinds of rabbits. White rabbits, burrowing rabbits, and of course, lop rabbits. I mean, I think that would have worked really well for the game, but who knows? I just hope that this line comes back for the next generation, in Generation 9, in the Paldea region. I wonder if we're going to get a new regional variant with this Pokemon. I'd be happy to know, but no more time wasting. It's time to hop to it. Okay, I know I said that the first time. I had to say it again. It was funny. And let's start off with the little lucky bunny itself, Buneary. Buneary the rabbit Pokemon is based on a rabbit kit, specifically the Lop Rabbit kit. Buneary also has excellent hearing, as this Pokemon can tell what's coming from over a mile away with those marvelous ears. Even though that we use our ears for hearing, Buneary's ears aren't just for hearing, and they're not just for show. If you can tell, this Pokemon doesn't have the strongest legs, nor does it have the strongest arms. So that's where its ears come in handy. That's right, these ears are used for battle. In the wild, you'll often see Buneary with tucked-in ears, but you should know that when this Pokemon's ready for battle, its ears will extend. That cute little innocent personality you see it with is gone. This Pokemon means business when it's ready to battle, as its ears pack a pretty nasty punch. It has the ability to crush a boulder to dust with just a single punch of its ears. Buneary's size also really comes in handy, as this Pokemon is very nimble. It can launch swift counterattacks in just seconds. Also, it's really fast and can dodge a lot of attacks. If you think that it can do a lot of damage to Pokemon, well, guess what? This thing can take on a pro wrestler or even a pro boxer and leave a pretty nasty sting to them. It's enough to even make a grown man cry. And that's okay. What do you think Buneary's diet consists of? Carrots and veggies? If you guessed that, you'd be wrong. Surprisingly, Buneary has a diet of greens and certain types of flowers. Well, it does make sense, as many Buneary make meadows as well as forests their home to eat the greens and flowers. But surprisingly, some Buneary really like to make their homes in icy mountains, like at the top of Mount Coronet, as well as many mountains near Snow Point City. The fur of Buneary is also very soft to the touch, and it's quite warm, as on chilly nights, Buneary sleeps with its head tucked into its fur. When it does this, it looks like a cute little fuzzy pillow. Buneary's fur is so soft that there are some people that take some of its fur and stuff a pillow with it. These pillows will be so soft and so warm, especially on winter nights. Oh, and if you're very close with your Buneary and it's very cold, Buneary will not mind snuggling up to you because it really likes to keep itself warm, and it also really likes to keep its trainers happy and very warm as well. As we've said before, Buneary is very limber, and with its ability of runaway, it easily can get away from battles. But if you also didn't know, since this Pokemon is based off a rabbit, it's an excellent jumper, and it has the ability to jump 6 feet in the air. It can even jump from branch to branch without any struggling. Huh, I guess this is a Pokemon you should have on your team if you want to become a ninja. Buneary made its anime debut in the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl series premiere episode, Following a Maiden's Voyage. It was later caught by Dawn in the episode Setting the World on its Buneary, after she failed to capture one in the episode 2 Degrees of Separation. Buneary was one of the cutest Pokemon introduced in Generation 4. I gotta admit, I always catch one in every one of my playthroughs. It has one of the most incredible coats, and it also is such a cutie pie. But it gets even cuter when it evolves. So let's give this Pokemon a lot of friendship and evolve it into Lopunny. And just looking at this Pokemon, we're in for luck. This is the Lucky Rabbit. Lopunny the rabbit Pokemon is based on a Lop rabbit, but it's also based on a fashion model, as this Pokemon has its own fashion. If you look carefully, its legs and wrists resemble women's faux fur cuffed gloves as well as boots. Huh, kinda cool that the world of Pokemon has its own fashion model. Lopunny's pride and joy are its lovely ears, as this Pokemon isn't just proud of its ears, but of its appearance, and it never fails to groom them. In fact, most of the day, Lopunny spend it grooming their ears to keep up their beautiful appearance. Other than being its pride and joy, Lopunny's ears are very delicate to the touch. If you have this Pokemon's absolute trust, it will let you touch as well as groom its ears, because this Pokemon only allows itself to groom them. Oh, and you should also know that if you by any means make this Pokemon feel uncomfortable with your touch, or you grab them without any permission, be prepared, because this Pokemon will give you one powerful kick. That's right, Lopunny has some pretty strong legs. In its pre-evolution of Buneary, the ears of Buneary are used for battle. When it evolves, Lopunny doesn't use its ears for battle. They're just for show, but they're really good at hearing, as this Pokemon can hear up to 2 miles away. But as we discussed that this Pokemon's ears are delicate and its pride and joy, it makes sense why it will not use them for a single battle. Lopunny has a very timid and cautious nature, as when this Pokemon senses danger coming, it cloaks its body in its fuzzy ears to hide. But if the danger is close, it quickly hops off, as this Pokemon is extremely nimble. Sometimes the danger that's approaching Lopunny is too great to hide from, and it can't get away fast enough. So this Pokemon has no choice but to fight back, and it fights back with those super destructive kicks from its body. But despite this Pokemon's retaliation, Lopunny prefers the route of a pacifist, as it doesn't really like to fight, and it prefers to live in peace among other Pokemon. Did you know that Lopunny sheds its fur twice a year? Yeah. During the summer and the spring, it sheds its fur, but in the fall and the winter, it all grows back, soft and fluffy. Despite its appearance, Lopunny's fur is remarkably light, despite it keeping it very warm even in the harshest winter conditions. When Lopunny sheds, a lot of people often take its shedded fur and make winter hats, scarves, mufflers, and even winter coats with this Pokemon's soft fur. Trust me, it's very expensive, but it'll probably be the warmest clothing you will ever have in your entire life. It can withstand even temperatures at -degrees. Since we're on the subject of winter, Lopunny actually really love the cold, as they really like to show off their coats to other Pokemon in the wild, and this Pokemon is loved for its elegance. That there are actually some Lopunny that not only appear in Pokemon contests, but many of them also appear in fashion shows as well. And just looking at this Pokemon, you can see why, as it really likes to show off its fashion, and it has a very keen sense of looking its best. Lopunny made its anime debut in the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl Battle Dimension episode, Arriving in Style, where it was under the ownership of Paris. It was kind of like Pikachu, as Lopunny was always seen outside of its Pokeball as Paris's partner Pokemon. In the games, Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Brilliant Diamond, and Shining Pearl, Lopunny sadly never appeared as a signature Pokemon of anyone. It could be battled by a few trainers, but it was never their star Pokemon. It did appear on Flint's team, the Elite Four Fire-type expert. This Pokemon also had an annoying ability. If you made contact with Buneary, its ability Cute Charm would go off. So the best thing you could do is attack it with a Pokemon with its same gender or a genderless Pokemon. But I guess it's a double-sided sword, because if you use this Pokemon correctly, you can also make your opponent have a hard time hitting it, as your Pokemon is so smitten with it, and there's love in the air. Being that Buneary and Lopunny are normal type, the only weakness that these Pokemon have is to fighting type Pokemon. Since they're normal type, they sadly do not have any type of Pokemon that they are strong against, as normal is currently the only typing that has no super effective moves on any Pokemon. On the bright side, these Pokemon do have one major strength, and it's the fact that Buneary and Lopunny, being normal type, are immune to ghost type moves. But it's also a bit of a, you can't hurt me, but I can't hurt you either, because their moves, being normal type, cannot hurt any ghost Pokemon. Buneary and Lopunny have a problem using held items because of their ability Klutz, which makes them unable to use held items. But since they oftentimes hold items that help with their friendship, that's more of a good thing. Oh, on an interesting note, did you know that Buneary and Lopunny can learn the moves Frustration and Return? Yeah, every other Pokemon can only learn those moves by TM. These Pokemon learn it by leveling up. And what's kind of ironic is that Frustration and Return are opposite moves. Buneary learns the move Frustration, which makes sense as Frustration is powered up by how much it doesn't like its trainer, and since we oftentimes catch them with a 0 base stat of Friendship, Frustration will be at its highest level. But Lopunny, on the other hand, learns the move Return, which is powered up by its friendship with its trainer. Since Buneary requires Friendship to evolve into Lopunny, this Pokemon will have Friendship set to the max. Bunnies are often good luck charms, and I would say that these are great to have on the team, if they don't have the ability Klutz, that is. But still, I would personally say that these are some of my favorite normal type Pokemon of all time. I am curious to know, if they got a regional variant, what do you think their typing should be? I would mainly say I could see them being European rabbits, but who knows? Maybe there's another type of rabbit out there that you might like. Maybe we could even see these Pokemon as jackalopes. I wonder if they would gain the ground typing. Lopunny and Buneary are very loyal to their trainers, as they also really like to make them happy, but they also go out of their way to keep their trainer warm, especially on cold nights. Also, if you're a normal type expert or you really like fast Pokemon, while Buneary and Lopunny are not the fastest normal type Pokemon, they are very nimble and can really get a fight done quickly, especially with the move Return. That's a great move to have for a Lopunny because as high as its friendship will be, it'll do massive damage. After all, you need to evolve them with friendship. If you also are one of those trainers who really likes entering Pokemon in contests, this is a perfect Pokemon. As I said before, that they really do like to look their best, especially Lopunny, but they also really like to impress others. So yeah, this is a great Pokemon to enter for contests. And if you also really like fashion, these Pokemon really know how to show off their style. For those of you who are fans of Mega Evolution, I'm happy to say Lopunny itself got a Mega Evolution. Yep, when this Pokemon Mega evolves, it becomes a normal fighting type. Oh, and its ability becomes Scrappy. If you don't know what that ability is, well, how do I say it? It now lets a normal or even a fighting type hit a ghost type Pokemon without any of the moves missing or going through it. Yep, that was a perfect ability for a normal fighting type. That's a great idea, and it has a pretty unique design. The only problem is that Mega Lopunny was introduced in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Even though it doesn't seem like much of a bummer, the problem is that you can't really get Mega Lopunny until after you beat the game. Yeah, it's kind of a bust that you can't really get it in those games till it's beaten. I really think that Pokemon should have given Lopunny its Mega Evolution in Pokemon X and Y, so at least you could have taken it on your journey instead of having to wait till post-game to do it. Either way, I still think that Mega Lopunny was a great idea. I just think the execution of getting one was a major bust. And it also happened again in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon when you could only get the Mega Evolution ability in post-game. Really does make me sad for Lopunny, as it did have a great Mega Evolution, great ability, and it was very competitive. I'm curious to hear from you, trainers. I really would like to know, is this a line that you always go for whenever you can? Do you think that Mega Lopunny deserved more and should have come out in Generation 6's Kalos region rather than the remake of the Hoenn region? Also, do you consider Buneary and Lopunny lucky rabbits? Oh, and I also am very curious to know, who's your favorite rabbit Pokemon? For me, it's none other than Cinderace. I love this rabbit, and it's got to be my all-time favorite starter and favorite rabbit Pokemon of all time. I really would love to hear from you guys. So, if you liked what you saw, please leave a like. If you have an idea that you want for a video, or you want me to cover a single Pokemon line, please comment. And as always, if you liked what you saw and you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. And please feel free to recommend me to any trainer out there that you can. I'm very happy to teach anybody I can. Thanks for watching. Palm out.